Chosen one, have you ever felt like you were on a path that no one else seemed to understand? Perhaps your friends made choices that didn't align with your own, and it seemed like you were being left behind. The truth is, your friends had two choices, and they made the wrong one. While this may have felt like a loss or even a betrayal at first, what you're about to realize is that this was a blessing in disguise. This is a critical part of your journey, and it's essential to understand why the path you walk as a chosen one often looks different from others. When you are destined for greatness, not everyone will understand the vision God has given you. Sometimes, those closest to you will make choices that push them away from your light, but this is not a curse. It's a divine redirection. What looks like rejection now will soon reveal itself as a blessing, one that will elevate you to new levels of purpose and growth. Chosen one, if you have been guided to this channel, it's not by accident. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to become a part of the official Kingdom Calls family, so you never miss the divine wisdom meant to uplift and guide you on your sacred path. And type 1111 in the comments to let the universe know you are ready to receive this wisdom. There are moments when life shifts, forcing you to adapt and grow. For the chosen ones, these shifts are part of a divine plan that shapes your destiny, even when those around you take a different path. Reflecting on the video title, which speaks of your friends' wrong choices, it's important to consider the deeper spiritual implications. While it's easy to view this from a perspective of judgment or pain, there's a lesson here, one that is not just about their mistakes, but about your growth. Their choices, while seemingly misguided, are not a sign of failure. They are a blessing in disguise, not just for you, but for them as well. They could not walk the same path you were destined for, and in their wrong choices, they've inadvertently created space for you to fulfill your higher purpose. In God's eyes, there are no mistakes. There are only lessons, growth, and opportunities to strengthen your spiritual resolve. When your friends chose their path, it may have felt like a betrayal or a reminder of your own burdens, but that feeling of hurt or disappointment is a reminder that your journey is sacred and separate. It's important to understand that part of being a chosen one is walking a solitary road. While others may be distracted by material comforts, you are being called to a much deeper transformative mission. The pain you feel when your friends take a different route is not something that should make you question your own path. Instead, it should affirm your role in fulfilling a higher purpose. There's a power in knowing that your choices are part of a divine blueprint. The challenge lies in trusting that blueprint, even when those around you seem to have chosen what appears to be an easier, more fulfilling way. Your journey is not about comparing yourself to others, it's about understanding the unique role you play in God's plan. While others may seem to have the better outcome, the rewards you're working toward are far beyond what the material world offers. At the core of being a chosen one is the realization that your calling is not based on comfort, popularity, or worldly success. Your mission requires strength, perseverance, and the willingness to make choices that may be counterintuitive to what others expect. This can be a lonely journey, and it's easy to feel left behind when those around you seem to be thriving. But that loneliness is a blessing. It is in those quiet, solitary moments that God speaks to you most clearly. In these moments, when you question why others seem to have it easier, remember that God is preparing you for something much greater than what the world can offer. The pain of watching your friends make what you perceive as the wrong choice is not just about their decisions, but about you and your opportunity to deepen your faith. You are being tested. How deeply do you trust that God knows your heart and your purpose? It's easy to wonder if you're missing out on something better or if you should have chosen differently. But the truth is, the path you're on is the one God has designed for you, and every misstep by those around you only solidifies your position in this greater plan. There will be times when you witness the consequences of those choices. Perhaps they will face struggles, and you'll want to reach out and help. But in these moments, God is asking you to resist the urge to take on their burdens. Your role is not to save others, but to remain steadfast in your own divine calling. You may feel tempted to go back to relationships that no longer align with your higher purpose. But these moments are blessings in disguise. They are invitations to trust that you've been placed on a different path, one uniquely yours. As you navigate these challenges, remember that your friends' decisions are not your responsibility, nor do they define your future. Their wrong choices might cause pain, but they also remind you of the strength and resilience you're cultivating. There's a deep spiritual strength that comes from recognizing that God is always with you, even in your loneliest moments. Ultimately, the choices of others will not define you. The path you are walking, though it may seem unclear or filled with obstacles, is uniquely suited to your soul's growth. Your purpose is greater than anything you could have imagined, and each twist and turn leads you toward your divine destiny. Even when others seem to thrive in ways you don't understand, your path is the one that will bring you peace, wisdom, and fulfillment as it aligns with the greater purpose God has set for you. As the chosen ones, the path you walk is unlike any other. Your journey is one of self-discovery, divine purpose, and soul-deep growth. It's easy to get lost in comparisons or the noise of the world around you. Many people may not understand the gravity of your choices, the spiritual work you're doing, or the transformation unfolding within you. And yet, every step you take, though often laden with challenges, is a step toward your true purpose, your divine calling. You are more than just an individual. You are an agent of divine will, a vessel through which God's light can manifest in ways unimaginable to those still walking in the shadows. For many of those who once walked beside you, the choices they made may seem like simple decisions, but they are far from it. These were moments when their souls were faced with the call of something greater, something beyond themselves. And yet, many chose the comforts of familiarity, the illusions of security, or distractions that kept them from confronting their own spiritual hunger. It's tempting to wonder what went wrong for them, but you must remember, your journey has never been about surface-level rewards or immediate gratification. It's about growth, elevation, and divine alignment. Their choices may not be wrong in the grand scheme. They simply chose the path that was easier for them to walk at this moment in time. Some souls need more time in certain spaces before they can awaken fully to their potential. Your journey has not been easy. It's not been about avoiding challenges. It's been about transcending them. But even as you rise, you must remember your mission, to lead by example, showing through your life that there is a higher way. Your life is proof that even in the face of adversity, growth is not just possible, it is inevitable. You've been shaped and refined like gold in fire. And as you continue, you're learning that blessings often come in the most unexpected forms. Those moments of pain, confusion, and seemingly disastrous events were not sent to break you. They were sent to awaken you to something greater, to reveal the strength and resilience within. You are a vessel for divine blessings. Yes, even when they come in disguise. It's hard to see God's hand at work when we're deep in struggle, but often, what seems like a loss is clearing space for something greater. Others may not understand your journey, and that's okay. You weren't meant to walk for approval, but to trust the divine process. The choices of those around you may seem disconnected, but what if their path is part of their own soul's growth? There are no wrong choices in divine purpose, only lessons and awakenings. All things unfold in God's perfect timing. The challenge for you, as the chosen one, is not to carry the weight of others' choices, nor is it to pass judgment on their paths. It is to recognize that your growth and transformation were never meant to serve as comparisons to theirs. Your journey, while it may seem lonely at times, is a sacred one. And it's in moments of solitude, of disconnect, that God does His most profound work in you. The quiet spaces are where the greatest shifts occur, and it's in those silences that you learn to hear God's voice guiding you. As you reflect on your journey, remember that the lessons you've learned, though at times grueling, have been the very building blocks of the person you are today. You've learned to stand tall, even when the world seemed intent on knocking you down. You've learned to trust in the divine timing of your life, understanding that things are unfolding precisely as they need to, even when it doesn't align with what you think should happen. The fact that you've made it this far is itself a testament to your spirit and faith. While you may look back and feel sadness or frustration at those who seem to have chosen a different path, consider this. In every soul's journey, the timing is uniquely theirs. What you've endured, transcended, and gained may be the very thing they need to rise in their own time. Perhaps their path needed to diverge from yours so that they could find their own truth, unclouded by your presence. As you continue walking your path, remember that you are being prepared for greater things. This isn't the end of your journey. It's another chapter, one that will prepare you for the blessings ahead. The road may be long, and sometimes the weight of your calling may feel heavy, but know this: you are not alone. God walks beside you, guiding you every step of the way, even in the most difficult moments. In the journey of the chosen ones, there are moments when the actions of others seem to hold the weight of unanswered questions. You've likely experienced it, those pivotal decisions your closest friends or confidants have made, decisions that left you wondering, why would they choose that path? Why did they turn away when you extended your hand? These moments don't just brush against your life, they carve deep grooves into your spiritual path, forcing you to confront truths you never expected. But here's the twist: what seems like rejection is often a divine redirection. Consider this for a moment. What if their choice wasn't a failure on their part or a loss for you, but a piece of God's plan designed to strengthen your journey? Perhaps their departure from your life wasn't about you at all, but about something greater unfolding behind the veil. There's a tension here, isn't there? A lingering sense that the choices others make ripple outward in ways we can't yet fully understand. You may have noticed the signs in the physical world. Perhaps these are subtle shifts, their energy no longer aligning with yours, or moments when their words didn't match their actions. Maybe there were instances where you felt a nudge, a quiet whisper from God urging you to let go, even when you didn't want to. These signs weren't random. They were messages, breadcrumbs from the divine, signaling that something profound was happening beneath the surface. And yet, the questions linger. Why did it have to happen this way? What does it mean for the path you're on? God's plans are never accidental. There is a careful orchestration in how events unfold for the chosen ones. What feels like abandonment is often God removing those who could not carry the weight of your destiny. Their choice to step away or to betray your trust was never meant to diminish you. Instead, it was an opportunity to reveal their true character and to fortify your spirit. Think about this. If they couldn't choose you when the stakes were low, how could they stand with you when the stakes were eternal? This realization doesn't come easily. It's not meant to. The ache of loss and the sting of betrayal are part of the refining fire. God uses these moments to shape you, to mold you into the vessel He needs for His work. But even in knowing this, the tension remains, doesn't it? What about the blessings you thought were tied to those connections? What about the future you envisioned with those people at your side? Were you wrong to trust them? Or did they make the wrong choice, failing to see the gift that was you? These questions aren't here to torment you, they're here to stretch your faith. The truth is, the answers aren't always immediate. The physical signs may leave you puzzled. God doesn't leave His chosen ones in the dark for long. Yet, in this space of waiting, something incredible is happening. You're being prepared. Your steps are being guided. The stage is being set for a revelation so profound, it will shift your perspective entirely. Have you considered that their choice, no matter how wrong it seemed, might have been necessary to propel you into the next chapter of your destiny? What if their departure was the blessing you didn't know you needed? Think about this deeply. God's ways are not our ways, and His plans often unfold in ways we can't anticipate. But one thing is certain: if they couldn't see your worth, It wasn't your loss. It was a lesson for them and a blessing for you. As the tension builds, reflect on this. What if everything you've experienced up to this point has been preparing you for a breakthrough? What if the climax of your journey is just ahead? Stay with this thought. The answers you seek are coming. God is about to reveal why their wrong choice was the right move for your destiny. You've felt it, haven't you? The weight of their choice, the way it lingered, gnawed at your heart, and left questions in its wake. It was heavy, almost suffocating at times, as though the very foundation of your trust and understanding had been shaken. In those earlier moments of reflection, we explored the deeper truths their decisions revealed, how their actions unveiled their character, stripped away illusions, and ultimately served as a divine redirection for your path. It was never truly about what they did or didn't do. It was about what God was doing for you through their choices. We've already explored the physical signs, the subtle nudges from the world, and the quiet whispers from God urging you to see beyond what's visible. These weren't mere coincidences, but pieces of a divine puzzle leading you closer to your true path. Their rejection, betrayal, or absence was never truly about you. It was always part of God's plan, a way to guide you toward your destiny. Now, let's go deeper. Their choice wasn't just about them, it was intricately tied to you. Their departure didn't shut a door, it unlocked one meant for you alone. God, in His wisdom, cleared the way, turning what seemed like rejection into divine protection, making space for your purpose to unfold. And this is the moment where everything shifts. Have you noticed how God works through the unexpected, defying logic to create miracles? When your friends had their choices, to stand with you or turn away, they chose wrong, yet even their misstep was part of God's plan. Their absence cleared the way for what's coming, pruning what no longer served your purpose. It's painful, yes, but necessary, as God removes what stifles your growth to make space for new blessings. The garden of your life, once overrun, is now ready to bloom. What felt like loss is truly the beginning of your divine breakthrough. Here's the truth you need to let sink in. They couldn't choose you because they weren't equipped to walk the path you're on. It wasn't about your worth or your value, it was about the magnitude of your calling. The level of spiritual strength, emotional resilience, and unwavering faith required to walk beside a chosen one is something few can handle. And their inability to rise to that level isn't a reflection of your worth, it's a testament to the extraordinary nature of your destiny. God doesn't place small dreams in the hearts of His chosen. He doesn't call you to an ordinary life. He calls you to a life that demands extraordinary faith and obedience. And part of that faith is trusting Him when He removes people from your life who can't handle the blessings He's about to pour into it. Their departure wasn't just a moment of clarity for you, it was divine protection. It was God saying, I need you focused, I need you free of distractions, because what I have for you is too important to be delayed. Think back to those lingering questions that haunted you. Why did they leave? Why couldn't they see your worth? Why didn't they stay? The answers lie in God's perspective. He saw what you couldn't. He saw their limitations, their doubts, their inability to carry the responsibility of being aligned with someone He has chosen. He saw the potential for chaos, for conflict, for distraction if they remained in your life. And in His love for you, He removed them before they could hinder your destiny. But here's the revelation that changes everything. Their wrong choice wasn't just a test for them, it was a test for you. It tested your faith, your resilience, and your trust in God's plan, even when it didn't make sense. And because you endured, because you refused to let bitterness take root, you've passed the test. You've shown God that you're ready for the next chapter. This is the breakthrough moment. God is now opening doors that were locked because the wrong people were holding the keys. The blessings that felt delayed, the opportunities that seemed out of reach, they are being released. And their absence isn't a void. It's a space for the right people, the right opportunities, the right path to come into your life. The friends who chose wrong, they couldn't see the gift you are. But the ones who are coming, the people God is aligning with your journey, will see your worth without hesitation. They won't question your calling or compete with your purpose. They will amplify it, complementing the work God is doing in and through you. Now take a moment to truly reflect on this. The doubts you carried about your value, the fear that their choice was a reflection of something lacking in you, those fears were lies. The truth is, you are chosen, not because of anything they did or didn't do, but because God set you apart from the beginning. And here's the most profound truth of all: their wrong choice revealed God's sovereignty. It showed you that nothing, absolutely nothing, can derail His plan for your life. Even their mistakes were part of His divine strategy. Their choice was never outside of His control. In fact, it was woven into His plan all along. So now, as you stand on the brink of this breakthrough, ask yourself, what will you do with this clarity? Will you let their decision define your story? Or will you step boldly into the destiny God has laid before you? The door that has opened is waiting for you to walk through it. Feel the weight of this moment. Every trial, every tear, and every unanswered question were never in vain. They prepared you for this pivotal point. Their choice to walk away didn't define you. It created space for God's greater plan. What seemed like loss was divine protection, clearing what wasn't meant to grow with you. The trials didn't destroy you. They refined and strengthened you for the journey ahead. Even when you felt alone, God's hand was guiding you. Their decision wasn't a setback, but a divine setup for your destiny. What lies ahead is far greater than what you've left behind. The people who will stand by your side, the opportunities that will unfold, and the blessings you're about to receive are part of a divine exchange. Their wrong choice wasn't your defeat, it was your redirection. God needed to remove distractions to ensure your focus remained on what truly matters. Every door that closed was preparing you for the ones that are about to open. This moment is where everything shifts. You've endured the test, and now you're stepping into the reward. The doubts you carried about your worth were lies, and the truth is shining through. You are chosen, not because of anyone else's decisions, but because God set you apart. The weight of your calling is immense, and not everyone was equipped to carry it with you. Their departure wasn't rejection, it was protection. As you stand here on the brink of your breakthrough, remember this: God doesn't waste anything. Every tear, every struggle, and every unanswered prayer were weaving together the fabric of your destiny. Their choice wasn't the end of your story, it was the beginning of a new chapter. The trials you faced were the soil in which your faith grew, and now you're ready to bloom. The blessings ahead are more significant than anything you could have imagined. The people who will come into your life will see your worth without hesitation. They will honor your purpose and amplify your calling. What you've endured has prepared you for the extraordinary, and the extraordinary is what you're stepping into now. This is your time to walk boldly into the destiny that's been waiting for you. Let this truth settle in your spirit. Nothing, not even the wrong choices of others, can stop God's plan for your life. What seemed like rejection was a redirection. What felt like a loss was a divine exchange. This is not the end. It's the beginning of something far greater than you could have imagined. And the best part, this is only the beginning. The story God is writing for you has just begun, and it is filled with unimaginable blessings, joy, and purpose. As you reflect on the events and choices of your friends, it's important to remember that God's plans for your life are far greater than what we can see in the immediate moment. Their decision to walk away, betray, or doubt you was not a mistake, nor was it something that could derail your journey. In fact, it was part of a much bigger picture that you may not fully understand yet. Sometimes the path forward can seem unclear, but know this: what you're experiencing is part of God's perfect plan, a divine redirection that is moving you closer to your destiny. In those moments when you were left questioning why things unfolded the way they did, it might have felt like a great loss, but in reality, God was clearing space for your growth. Their choices were part of the pruning process, removing distractions that were never meant to grow alongside you. This is how God works. He doesn't just allow things to happen. He uses every event, every rejection, and every painful moment to position you for something greater. Now that you see it more clearly, it's time to look ahead. The journey is not about looking back with regret or clinging to what was lost. Instead, it's about moving forward with faith and courage, knowing that God is guiding you every step of the way. The space their absence has created is not empty. It's fertile ground for new opportunities, new connections, and a deeper relationship with God. This is your time to rise, to become the person you were always meant to be, and to embrace the destiny that awaits you. God has a way of turning what seems like setbacks into setups for divine breakthroughs. It's easy to focus on the hurt, to dwell on what could have been, but God's perspective is much higher. He sees the full picture, and He knows that you need this time, this season of solitude, to prepare you for the next chapter of your life. In His wisdom, He has removed the people and distractions that were never meant to stay, so you can now focus on your purpose, your calling, and your growth. This is not a time of abandonment, but a time of alignment. Moving forward, you must let go of any bitterness or resentment that may have lingered from the past. God's plan for you requires a heart that is open, free from the weight of past disappointments. Forgiveness is not just for the other person, it's for you. It allows you to step into the next season with a clean slate, ready to receive the blessings that God has prepared for you. Let go of the pain and trust that God is working all things together for your good. In this new space, you are now ready to walk in the fullness of your purpose. With your eyes fixed on God and your heart aligned with His will, new doors will open before you. What once seemed impossible will become possible. Opportunities that seemed out of reach will now fall into place. The people who will walk with you in the next season of your life will see you for who you truly are. They will recognize the anointing on your life, and they will support and uplift you as you move forward in your divine purpose. Your spiritual growth has been enhanced through this process. You have learned to trust God in the midst of uncertainty. You have been refined, tested, and now you are stronger, wiser, and more prepared than ever before. This is your moment to shine, to step boldly into your calling, knowing that God is with you, guiding you, and leading you toward a future filled with His promises. As you move forward, be open to new beginnings. Don't be afraid to embrace the unknown, for it is in the unknown that God often does His greatest work. He is not bound by the past or limited by what has already happened. His power is unlimited, and He is doing something new in your life. Stay close to Him, listen for His voice, and be sensitive to His guidance. The next steps in your journey may not always be clear, but you can trust that He is with you every step of the way. Your friends' choices were not a reflection of your worth, but a reflection of their own inability to see the full scope of God's plan for you. It's easy to get caught up in seeking validation from others, but true validation comes from God alone. His approval is all that matters. What He has placed inside of you is far greater than what anyone else can see. When the wrong people walk away, it is God's way of making room for the right people to come in. This is also a time to focus on your relationship with God more deeply. Spend time in prayer, worship, and in His Word. The closer you draw to Him, the more He will reveal to you. He is your guide, your protector, and your provider. Trust that He is leading you to exactly where you need to be. The challenges you face are not meant to break you, but to build you up. You are becoming stronger, more resilient, and more capable of fulfilling the purpose He has set before you. Don't look back. The past is behind you, and what's ahead is far greater than anything you could have imagined. The door that was once closed is now open, and it's time for you to walk through it. Step forward in faith, knowing that God has already gone ahead of you, making a way where there seems to be no way. The future is bright, and it is filled with endless possibilities. You are destined for greatness, and nothing, no one, can stand in the way of God's plan for your life. As you take these steps forward, hold on to the truth that God is always working in the background, even when you can't see it. His timing is perfect, and His ways are higher than ours. Trust that every moment, every rejection, every setback, and every disappointment was part of the journey that was leading you to this moment. You are exactly where you need to be, and God is about to do something amazing in your life. Your path forward is filled with hope, joy, and abundance. The blessings that were delayed are now being released. The people who were meant to walk with you are on their way. The opportunities that once seemed impossible are now within your reach. God is doing a new thing in your life, and it's time for you to embrace it fully. Trust Him, step forward in faith, and watch as He unfolds the beautiful plans He has prepared for you. This is not the end, it is the beginning of something far greater. What God has in store for you is beyond anything you can imagine. You have been chosen for such a time as this. Keep moving forward with your head held high, your heart open, and your faith unwavering. The best is yet to come. The next chapter of your life is unfolding right now. Don't be afraid of the unknown, embrace it. The possibilities ahead are more than you've ever dreamed. With God's direction, you will navigate this season with grace and purpose. Stay close to Him, stay grounded in His word, and trust that He will continue to guide you step by step. The journey you're on is a powerful one, and it's about to take you to places you've never imagined. You are not alone. God is with you, and His plans for you are bigger than anything you've experienced so far. Keep moving forward, knowing that the best is yet to come. Heavenly Father, Lord, we acknowledge Your sovereignty over all things and trust that You hold our destinies in Your hands. Thank You for the wisdom and clarity You provide in moments of uncertainty. Though we face pain and confusion when others make choices that hurt us, we trust that Your ways are higher than ours. Father, thank You for reminding us today that the rejection, the betrayal, or the absence of those we care for is not the end of our story. We praise You for showing us that their choice to walk away was never a derailment of Your plan for us. You, in Your infinite wisdom, orchestrated these moments as part of a greater process, a process that aligns us with the path You've designed for us, the path that leads to growth, to purpose, and to greater things than we could ever imagine. Lord, I pray for every chosen one watching this today. I ask for Your peace to flood their hearts and minds, that they would not hold on to bitterness or resentment, but would release all that weighs them down. May they feel Your presence and know that in every painful experience, You are working behind the scenes for their good. Let them be encouraged by the truth that what they've lost was never a loss, but a preparation for what is to come. Grant them strength, Father, to walk confidently into their purpose, trusting that You are making all things new. Help them see the open doors You've created, doors that were only possible because of the path their friends and loved ones chose not to walk. Let them feel Your divine protection and guidance as they continue to walk in faith, knowing that You have gone ahead of them, making a way where there seems to be none. Lord, I pray for clarity in the next steps of their journey. Illuminate their hearts and minds and help them to walk boldly in the calling You have placed upon their lives. Let them rise above any doubts or fears that try to take root and help them to remember that they are never alone. You are with them every step of the way, and Your plan for them is perfect. Let their hearts overflow with gratitude for the pruning and the growth that is taking place. May they embrace this new season with joy and expectation, knowing that the best is yet to come. In Jesus' name, amen. Now, my dear friends, as we come to the end of this powerful message, I want to encourage you to take the next step in your journey. I know that you are walking through something big, something divine, and God is doing something incredible in your life right now. The path ahead may not always be clear, but trust that He is leading you, and He will guide your every step. If this message resonated with you today, I invite you to join our growing Chosen Ones community. Let's continue to walk this journey together, lifting each other up and encouraging one another in our faith. You are not alone in this, and together we can build a supportive space for everyone who believes that God has a purpose and a plan, even in the midst of difficulty. I encourage you to subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any future videos that will continue to inspire and empower you to walk in your purpose. Together, we can build a community of chosen ones who are committed to growing, learning, and stepping into the greatness that God has prepared for us. Each new video is another step forward in our spiritual journey, and we want you to be a part of it. Also, if you know someone who could benefit from hearing this message, someone who may be struggling with rejection, loss, or confusion, please share this video with them. Your willingness to share can be the catalyst for someone else's breakthrough, and it can help them understand that even in the hardest moments, God is working all things together for their good. Let's build a community that encourages and uplifts one another. Let's walk forward with faith, knowing that God is making something beautiful out of our journey. If you're ready to take that next step, to embrace the blessing in disguise, and to walk boldly in the plan God has for you, then join us. Thank you for watching, for being a part of this community, and for embracing the journey ahead. May God bless you richly, and may His peace be with you always. If this message touched your heart and you'd like to support the Chosen Ones community, consider donating to our Ko-fi. Your contribution helps us continue to create spiritually enriching content for you and others on the sacred path. With your support, we can reach more individuals and empower them on their journeys, fostering a deeper connection with God's purpose for their lives. Thank you for being a part of this community and for helping us spread hope, wisdom, and encouragement to all who need it. Your generosity truly makes a difference.